Okay, so this is me doing a review on the ZENY. I've already put some clothes and detergent in here. And I've got it up on this little stand because I'm trying it in my kitchen. You can see my fridge there. I've got a little bucket because I don't know if the hose will reach to the sink, which it doesn't look like it will, so that's why I have the bucket. But if you ever need to stop the drain, don't ever cut this thing off because you will want this. If you don't hook it back up here while it's, say you happen to have it on drain, there's an emergency, hang this thing here, I guess it'll stop it. So that's your little safety with Claire. Okay. Sorry, still some plastic left on there. I've never started this yet, so we're gonna experience this together. But here's the wash timer. There's a water inlet here, water inlet here. I'm assuming this is to clean once you're done spinning, but the instructions leave some doubt in my brain whether who wrote them knows what they're talking about. So I put it on 15. And there she blows. She's actually cleaning real well. And I can't even hear this if I walk away. I'm sure of it. But I do hear the timer, but I don't care about that. Because when I walk away, I won't be able to hear that either. But I did the manual fill method because again, the hose won't fit in my faucet to here. So I used this actually to fill it up so I know that when I drain it, the same amount of water will fit into this bucket. So I won't have any overflow or whatever, but when that time comes, we'll get there. I did try the water inlet. You can see the little sprinklets of water. I thought maybe just even holding it underneath of the faucet, the other end of the hose, would work, but it ended up splashing a lot, and I do have an extension cord. You can see I've even hidden it inside of here because I didn't want it near the sink or the water. But just to be double safe, I did that. But this is actually plugged into my living room, even though there's an outlet right here. It's like 3 inches too short. It was so sad. I mean, I guess for this part, I could move it closer to the wall since we're not draining. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that. That makes a lot more sense, Claire. Okay, moving its big self over. Let's see if the plug will reach. Still no, look at that. Still no. Well, I'm glad I didn't unplug it and stop the load. But let's see how dirty the water is right now. Oh yeah, that's yucky water. But these are like socks and stuff like that, so I didn't want to do any jeans or anything on this first load. I just wanted to let the machine adjust. But these are my tank tops I wear under my clothes, spaghetti straps that I wear under my clothes. Like, I don't know, I have a thing about your bra and stuff showing. I feel like it's tacky, but if that's your style you're going for, then don't mind what I say. That's not mine. But that's what all this stuff is in here, and I'm going to keep on doing small loads, but this is just, you know, a little review. And I'm so glad that I did this. I was telling my mom about it, and she said, well, how much do they cost? I said, well, on the expensive end, they're almost like $100. And she says, on the expensive end? I said, yeah. The cheaper ones are like 60, 80, something like that. But honestly, I want the twin tubs, and I want to be able to interact, if you will, with my clothes without other people. I'm gonna close this now because it's kind of splashing about. But without other people staring at me. If you're like me and you used to go to the laundromat and like weird people are down there all the time, or like dudes are creepy. The last time I went to the laundromat, there was 2 young guys who walked in there after me. I was playing a game on my phone, and these fools were like burping to try to get my attention. I don't know if the land that they come from, women are attracted to that, but that's definitely not me. So anyways, I'll explain this side while we're kind of doing this. But look, we've already gone through, we're like 1/5 of the way done. We'll call that 20%, because it is. Okay, so I'm going to turn my phone. This is the spin side, and the door won't even close. This won't, just because of physicality in those 2 meeting. But it actually, you cannot start the spin timer without both of these things being in place, and I'll explain this in a minute. But this door has to be shut in order for this timer, you can see my hand behind here, this timer for the spin cycle to work. So both of these have to be closed, and this does have to be in there. You can't say, oh, well, I know what I'm doing, I don't need that. No, you need this. So what this does is when you put your clothes in, you want to make sure they're balanced, but if you don't have this on top of all of your clothes, so you put it in here, right, and your clothes, it'll say they go that high. It sits there. So when you close this door and when you close the other door, then it starts spinning real fast, right? Well, for the first couple of seconds, I've noticed other reviews, and that's just how this thing functions. It does get a little weird, but after it picks up because of the centrifugal motion, it's a lot of big words, but centrifugal motion, it'll end up stabilizing itself out if your load is balanced. So you have to make sure that whatever little baby clothes you put in here are balanced, and then put that on top. And otherwise, like say you do a towel, I watched a review where a girl did one towel and it was all lopsided, and she put the thing in, but it was a different machine actually, and it started it was in the bathtub, it was wobbling all over, and she couldn't figure out why. And it's like, well, I can tell you right now, the load's not balanced. That's any normal machine though, but this thing is agitating. I'm pleased with the amount of dirt I see in the water, if that could be a thing. But once we do the rinse cycle, so when I watched a lot of review videos, I would have sworn to you that people were not reading the instructions properly. I was swearing up and down that this inlet on this side made sense to me, that you take your clothes out of here, put them in here, right? Put the water inlet hose toward this side, because only this one goes to this side, and then only this one goes to this side. So if you put your water spigot in here, then the water will go in here. And to me, that makes sense for a rinsing, right? But apparently that's not how it works. So I did read the instructions, and apparently so did other people, but I thought they didn't at first because it just wasn't making sense to me. Like, when do you ever use this other than to clean out the tub if it gets that dirty? But whatever. So you're supposed to take the clothes, put them in here, spin them, put them back in here, fill it back up with water, put your softener if you choose to do so. Don't use as much as you think you should, and then put them back in here for this final spin. But to me, I thought that you would take your clothes from here, put your clothes in here, spin it, add more water, do whatever you want, spin it again, you're done, right? That's what makes sense to me, but I don't know. I think differently probably than the designer of this machine, and they know what they're doing. I don't know anything about appliances, but if you can see, it's beautiful agitation. I'm gonna pause the video because I'm sure you guys are tired of just looking at this machine and hearing my voice, but I'll be back when I have to switch them over. Okay, so I'm back, and this is about to stop spinning. And I've also, because I'm super paranoid about Final Destination type deals, I've moved the extension cord over here from the fridge. I've got some really strong magnets on this fridge, trust me. And I just don't want this anywhere near where it can get water while I'm going to be draining. Plus I have to refill my manual method, and I might be using that tub or this one to refill this one. So I don't want any water potentially getting over there, especially while I'm flipping the clothes, and it sounds like it stopped. So there's the yuckies, and let's go ahead and switch this one from standard to drain. And I've actually put a rock in there. It's a little tiny rock, you can see it. I just didn't want any water to splash all over the counter, so that rock would act, it stopped all the splashing, so good thing I figured that out. But let's see, let's check the water. So you can see the water's going down. Kind of sounds gross. But that should hold all of it. Looks like it might not. So I might have to stop the drain. Oh. Yeah, I filled it up, so it should fit as much as I put in there. Perfect. Okay, so that's done draining. And what they tell you to do now is switch these over here. So let me go ahead and pull this back out. And I'll show you how much stuff I had in here. So that was a pair of underwear, but I didn't think everybody wanted to probably see it. I'm sure some of you do. Just kidding. So here's a tank top. Now you won't be able to fit everything that you did in here into here. You can already tell that. But that's probably for the best. This amount of weight with water would probably knock this thing off its end. Oh, so those are a couple socks. We've got another pair of underwear. This here sports bra. I put in some leggings and a lot of tank tops that I just wear under my clothes. This is a spaghetti strap. Seems to be tangled, so let's just choose a sock. Here's the tank top. Let's see. The knot of clothes. Hold on. I might be able to accomplish this. Nice. Okay. What else are boobs good for? So apparently if you got a lot of stringy things, this will be a problem. But me, I have like a lot of delicates, and someone didn't know what the soft setting was, where it says standard, drain, and soft. That's obviously for delicates. Watched that review and just kind of wondered who wasn't teaching someone something, but whatever. So we'll put this in here. So I'm trying to move my boobs. So we want to kind of make sure that that's balanced in there. And then you put this bad boy back in here. So you want to make sure you kind of make sure all that's flat, right? Okay, so we still have a few things in there. So you're going to be spinning 2 times as much as you're going to be rinsing, but not a huge deal. So we want to close this. And then we're going to close this. And the spin timer, we'll just go ahead and go for 5 minutes. And I'll show you guys, I'll come back when that's done and show you how that went. But you see it's a little crazy at first, and then once the centrifugal motion gets going, you're good. If I didn't have it on this wooden stand right here, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't hear anything, but yeah, that's the wooden stand shaking. So this is really quiet. At this point, I probably could just have it on the ground. Let me do this water and clear it out, and then I'll come back when the spin cycle is done. That was the first spin cycle, and I'm gonna just take this other bucket that I have and make sure that, since it did have stuff, it looks like it's like halfway filling that. Like again, I said, it won't drain unless you have this thing down, but once you do, it gets all the other yuckies out, all the yucky water. So I put this towel down just to be safe too, not get anything wet, because the instructions and whatnot are over there. So let's open it and see what we got. Take this thing out. Okay, so yeah, these are some leggings that I have that I love. They're cotton, and they're pretty much dry. I mean, I wish I could have you feel through the screen someday. Hopefully soon we will be able to, but that's pretty. This is spandex material, and if I hang this to dry for probably less than 30 minutes, it's going to be dry. Some underwear, more underwear. That's dry. It's lace. It's practically dry. It's obvious. I haven't done any jeans yet. Obviously, this is my first load. I didn't want to tackle any jeans, but I saw somewhere online that you only want to do like 2 to 3 pair at a time with maybe some socks or something simple like that. But yeah, all this stuff is practically dry. Now remember, I still have the other half. So that's why I put everything in this basket for right now, is because I don't want to add more water or do anything with this part of the tub till I get everything done. But I'm a fan always of separating your clothes before you put them in there. To me, it just seems like it would dry better than in a clump. But somebody else who had a different machine suggested that this is the same practically thing, it was just a different color. So they suggested that you kind of try to set it around the edges, you know, like make a little hole in the middle. It's going to have one anyways, because it did when I pulled everything out, but just kind of even it out, I guess, a little bit more. So I'm going to put this back in here. And if you want to keep on watching, I'll have the rest of the video where I show you how I do, I guess, the entire load. And when we do the rinsing in here. Or if you don't care, because the rinsing is pretty much the same thing, just again without detergent and softener. Oh, little side note. I added my softener in at about the 6-minute mark, 5-minute mark. Just because I like softened clothes, and if we're gonna rinse them, then at least I know the softener won't be itching my skin because it's still in this clothes. So that's why I did that. But that's just my own little thing. Everyone can put their softener in whenever they feel like it. But yeah, let's try this again. I gotta put it on something else. This wooden thing isn't working, but I'll be back. Okay, so I set this on the floor. And you can see, I can drain it after it's done, obviously, but you can see that it's not making hardly any noise. I mean, I could walk away from this and not hear it in the living room, which is just on the other side of the wall of the refrigerator. So, Definitely don't have it on something like that where it can be rickety. The tile grooves even are like making the wood shake worse. So just so you guys kind of can see how much it does at a time, this is probably like half of the bottom of the laundry basket. So probably if you want to do a whole laundry basket, I'm guessing that you, and yeah, it's broken, don't judge me, I'm guessing that you would have to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 if you like to, you know, keep it at the top like I do. So this is actually going pretty fast. I mean, you can choose how long you want to wash too. You don't have to do it 15 minutes like I did, but I like the thorough thing about it. But yeah, just so you guys know, I'll be back to do the other one. If you don't want to watch the rest of the video, you don't have to, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do what they call the rinse. Okay, so she stopped again, or she's stopping presently, but it's okay. Okay, I put the emergency kibosh on it apparently. So we'll take this out, and before I add water back in this side, I am going to put it back on the stand just because it does have to drain. But for the spinning, apparently I'm going to have it on something flat. So I'll figure out a better system later, but buy like some stand or something. So right now I'm just putting all this last half of the spun clothes back in here, and I'm going to put the other half back in here, and they say to add more water. So I already got half a bucket of water ready, and those are actually pretty dry, and I could fit like a pretty decent amount. So let me turn this off and add the water, and then I'll come back. I was gonna say too, before we get the rest of the water filled up, I don't know if you guys can even see it, but where is it? Here's an M right here, and there's an H right here. I assume that means medium and high. So my recommendation is don't put the water any higher than this one little line, but if you can't see it, I'm sorry guys, but it's there. Still filling up water, so give me one more second. Okay, so I added water to the same height, and I actually forgot to turn it off of drain. So when I put the hose down over here, I thought I was draining water from the spin cycle, but it just started draining this tub water. So make sure you don't do that. Pay attention to where it is at. Now it's on standard, and I only put it for like 9 minutes because we're just rinsing, I'm not cleaning. So I figured it didn't need to go for the extra time. But we'll do the same thing with the spin cycle. If you guys are interested, stick around. I'm feeling like I probably will end the video here. But you guys saw the clothes, how they come out. Hang dry them, lay them somewhere. They'll be dry in like less than an hour, I'm sure of it. So before my phone dies, this is a great product. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go on Amazon after I load this video up to YouTube and upload it to there. So you'll be able to find it in both places. But I like it. It's a great little system. You got a little bit more work, but honestly, you're not surrounded by creepy people. You're in your own home doing your peaceful thing. So keep your peace. My whole thing is about avoiding weird stuff and situations. So this is what I'm doing. I spent $100 to avoid weird situations ever again. If I have big blankets or something, I'll spend my time or go to a laundromat or something. But this seems like it's gonna work for me and my dog. She's a pit bull, so we can just have like a little load of her blankets or something every once in a while, and this will work perfect for us. I'll rinse it out when I'm done. That's what it recommends to do, which obviously you don't want your own gunk stirring around in there. But my phone is about to die, and you guys can catch this anywhere else. I have like CB Rants. Claire Bear Rants is my own little YouTube channel. I'm going to be uploading a couple of videos I made a long time ago, but they're still relevant. So yeah, just go ahead and review it yourself. You'll see it's an amazing product. It's a cute little thing.